What is up, my friends? So, we are 4 days away from getting our finale, and we're going to talk about that finale. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Let's get to 20,000 subscribers. We'll talk all the stuff you love about Wandavision. 2 more videos this week before we get to the finale on theories and all of that. But this is going to be like a theory list of things I have, and no specific order of how the episode's going to play out. I know there's all the 4chan and Reddit threads out there, which have been a little iffy. If you've been reading like I have, they've been right on some things and sort of right on others and completely wrong on some other things. First and foremost, what the hell with that Mailman and Dottie? Are we not going to have anything like planned for them? I mean, that may be the case. They could just be red herrings, and we have been speculating, theorizing for weeks now of who they could possibly be or what the importance of them is. Could turn out there's nothing. One thing, however, is there is a witness protection program person there, which we don't know who could be. So it could be either one of those two right there. But let's get right into this. So one of the things that I still believe wholeheartedly is going to happen, and no, it's not the Mephisto thing. That's been put to rest a little bit for me. More on that in a bit. But man, how many of us were thinking Mephisto was going to show up previous episode, right? I was definitely waiting for it. No, but one of the things I think that's very interesting that we learned in the previous episode is Agatha sensing and feeling this hex happen and all of this magic happen, which many people and myself theorize that who else would be able to feel all of this if not Doctor Strange, who may already be trying to figure out what's his best approach. I believe we see him in this because, as I've always said, every single episode, breakdown and ending explained, WandaVision, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange are connected. Kevin Feige said this at the Investors Day. Remember that. So I believe there is no way we don't get an appearance from Doctor Strange. I would hope from Peter Parker as well at some point, but that's a bit too much, right? Also, we could see Wong, and other people are saying Barrymore. I don't think Barrymore shows up in this. I think Wong is already overkill, especially for 50 minutes. This is still Wanda's show, and I don't want to overcrowd it, so I doubt Wong shows up, and I'm very positive Barrymore will not show up. Something else we got, a leak that is actually true, is a clip of, not even a clip, right? I wish we got a clip, but we got a picture of Wiccan, Vision, and Speed and Wanda fighting all together. And I think that that is going to be the setup for once this white Vision comes into play and Agatha's there as well in a big battle royale of sorts. And I think that one of the things also with White Vision is this is going to be voiced by James Spader in the voice of Ultron. So that should be interesting to see. A Vision with the voice of Ultron. Very full circle, if you will. And I think very antagonizing to Wanda as well, because we know how that Ultron thing went, right? I do think this huge battle as well will be joined by Doctor Strange. As I said, we have Photon and we have Evan Peters in this universe as well. So it should be an Avengers battle of sorts, if you will. And I think this is where we see this rip in the multiverse, because I still am very positive we see the multiverse be established here. And I think this huge battle and will have consequences that will lead into this. Now, is there another big bad in here? So, I mean, at this point, we've gotten the two big bads, right? If you think about it. We have Agatha and we have the White Vision. White Vision came out of nowhere. Did not expect that at all. So, could we have one more? It's possible. It ain't going to be Mephisto, though, at this point. I really doubt we'll see Mephisto be introduced here. One of the things that, however, I'm leaning on that we see another villain be introduced in some way or form is that Agatha cutscene we saw, like backstory, flashback, whatever you want to call it. We know she was up to some sneaky shit, some very dark shit, according to the Mother Witch. And there was no reason for them to show that without letting us know what exactly was Agatha looking for or doing that made her go to trial like this. And one of the things that we learned at the end of that episode is she was actually very interested in chaos magic, as she talks to Wanda about it and talks about her being the Scarlet Witch. And the reason for that, I think, being brought up and chaos magic entering into the realm of possibilities now is because our second or third big bad, whatever you want to call them, is very much into chaos magic. And so this is something that has been brought up before, and it's a character I really didn't look into because I wasn't very much so aware of this character, and I had all my focus on Mephisto. But this character is very much so tied to chaos magic, and this character is Shuton. I don't know, whatever you want to call him. This character is very much so tied to chaos magic, and is actually in the comics been tied to Scarlet Witch as well. And it's a very D-list villain, I will say. One that you really have to be deep into the comics to really know of. And I love comics, but I'm not that much of a person that's really deep into comics, I'll admit. But I love the stories, however. And so this character is one that I found interesting the more I read about him. And I'm going to be making a full video on him tomorrow, so you'll check that out for sure. And let me know what you think before the finale, because it's a very interesting character design as well. So that's one of the things I'm very interested in. So what I'm thinking is happening here in WandaVision is I think Agatha has been trying to sort of bring this character into this reality, Earth, our reality. And so there was no way to bring this character back really unless she had the chaos magic, because this character thrives on that. And so I think my whole theory on Mephisto and Agatha trying to bring Mephisto using Wiccan and Speed is actually cross out Mephisto and just write Chuton, Satone, I don't know. And that's who they're trying to bring here. Now, I don't believe we see him or whatever they are be brought into WandaVision until the very end, and it sort of is a post-credit scene of sorts, and this is what leads into the multiverse of madness, and we might see some other people show up there, such as Mephisto and Nightmare, but not in WandaVision. I think WandaVision is solely gonna focus on Agnes, and then Kutan will come at the end of it all, and we'll see Kutan in the next installment. Do I think Vision survives this? No, I wish he did, but I don't think he survives this. I think that is a catalyst that will launch Wanda to try and help and work with Doctor Strange on what comes next. I think Vision will not survive this, and I wish he did. I think him and White Vision are definitely like gone, and I don't think we see them anytime soon again. Now, as for Wiccan and Speed, I do think they have a future in the MCU, especially with Young Avengers coming up. But I think for the time being, we see them sort of be taken by Agatha or Kutan or Sutan. And the reason for that is because I believe that they do the same story of Mephisto, but instead of the shards being used from Mephisto, it's actually used from Kutan or Sutan. So I think we see Wiccan and Speed go away because of this. And I think this is the other catalyst that really throws Wanda into that Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness plot right there, as they sort of try to bring this new evil that's going to come, because I feel like it's going to be not just one villain but a couple of villains for that movie Multiverse of Madness. So that's what I think is going to happen. And on top of all of that, I think by the end, as I said, all of this magic, sorcery, whatever, is going to create rips in the multiverse, because I think we already have some if we have Evan Peters from the X-Men showing up here, because as Agatha said, she's not able to practice necromancy and all of that, and we don't see because as Agatha said, this chaos magic is able to create things, all of this, and she didn't create Evan Peters, even though there's a leak or rumor out there saying that we'll see that happen in the not in the MCU, of course in the MCU, but in the beginning of episode 9, we'll see Wanda create Evan Peters as she's sleeping, and Agatha takes advantage of this and hexes him right there. I don't think that's exactly what happened. I think that we see her actually pull Evan Peters from this multiverse, and that creates like a rip of sorts, and then Agatha took advantage of this and just hexed him right there. I do think that's going to be the case right here, and then we start seeing maybe a couple of other characters be teased for the future, but we don't really get much more of that, because I think it would be overkill to just keep adding and adding and adding characters like that, and then by the end of it, it doesn't even feel like Wanda's show. It just feels like another MCU film or Avengers film, And I don't think that's exactly what they want to go with this. This show has been exceeding my expectations, which were already high. And I think it is the best thing that the MCU has put out in quite some time. And I'm excited to see what the future holds. The bar is definitely high. Episode 9 is 50 minutes in length, and I don't even think that's enough. But I think that the way the writers and the producers, directors, actors have been giving us every episode, I'm excited to see what comes next. So let me know your thoughts on that. I will have a video on Satan. I don't know how to say his name. I think it's Kutan. I will have a video on him tomorrow. Check that out. And then on Wednesday, one more theory video and the future of Phase 4 and what WandaVision will do for that. That video will come out on Wednesday. And of course, we'll talk the finale as soon as it comes out. I'm watching it and I'm making my video for y'all. So y'all better subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you know when that video drops. But as always, I'll see all of you next time. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Make sure you follow me on Anchor, WordPress, all provided down below. Turn that bell on for notifications. Make sure you're subscribed. I'll see you next time. Stay safe. Stay positive.